This episode is presented by Shaw. October sees the under-20s from countries around the world battling it out to see who has the best youth international team. It reminds me of when I was at the start of my career. At that age, there's already lots of pressure to perform, and you just want to get better and better. So keeping calm and fresh is so important. If I could give younger me a tip, I'd say keep Shaw's non-stop protection range of antiperspirants to hand. It has 72-hour non-stop sweat and odour protection that'll keep you dry and fresh on and off the pitch. Shop now at Boots. Shaw. It won't let you down. Sam Allardyce, welcome to the Fozcast.
Great to be here, lads. Great to be here.
Right, so you're...
Looking forward to this.
Good, me too.
Yeah,
we're really
very
looking forward,
excited.
aren't we? You're really well known for obviously being an incredible football manager. Yeah, stellar career, right? However...
I'm going red.
We're going to start for your acting ability first and foremost, all right? We're
yes.
talking about the Uber Eats advert.
Uber Eats advert, which was a bit nerve-wracking, to be fair.
Really? Out of your comfort zone?
Out of my comfort zone, yeah. So I got a call from my agent, like, you got Uber Eats? I went, yeah. He said, sponsoring the football, Premier League football, like, you know, want you to do an advert with Tony Pulis and Alan Partey. I went, where? I thought, well, this is old codger stuff for us then, isn't it? Like, I mean, it's like, you know, I said, yeah, okay, no problem, like, I mean, so Tony rang me. Met Paz when we were out there, and it was in Mallorca. Big villa, 50, 60 people just...
What, on set?
On sets.
Like cameramen, sound people?
Cameramen, sound, directors, co-directors, producers, script writers, makeup, costumes. I've never tried as many costumes in my life. Like, it's just unbelievable, like, I mean, and I mean, it was 2 days. 2 days, and we started maybe like 8:30, 10, finished about 6 or 7. You know, doing big long scripts that were there, like, you know, and the amount. So when you see me and Tony and Alan on there, and you see that few seconds, that would have taken like 20 goals, 30 goals.
A couple of hours?
It could have taken any time if they weren't happy.
God.
No matter how many times you try to do it, like, I mean, Sam, can you just try it like this? Tony, can you adjust your cut? Can you know what I mean? I must have chewed about 8-10 cucumbers in one take.
So
like,
there's the one shot
So
there.
the one shot, like, I mean, and it was only like that, and it was like, right, not that one, just down a bit lower, Sam, a bit more to the left, like, you know, so yeah, it was good fun, and we were. I think all three of us were pretty nervous about, you know, not making.
It's out your comfort zone. You're not used to doing
no,
that.
no,
you know
not
what I mean?
used to that. No. So, but it was. We had a great time. To be fair,
Do you know what? I'm glad you did. I had visions of. So you're in Mallorca. It's a bit of a lads' holiday. You got TP early doors down to the sunbeds to get them, like he does, like 6 o'clock, regimented.
There were none of that. You were up and at it, like, I mean, and pretty. You felt pretty fatigued at the end of it.
Yeah, I bet.
Concentration, and I mean, you haven't got too many lines. I mean, which was a good thing. I mean, had we had too many lines, I'm not sure we'd have remembered them. Like, I mean, but,
So there wasn't many pints of sangria in the evening.
Pints of wine. It's pints of wine, Tom. Come on.
I mean, it just was. It was really, and we got on really well with everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody were really great. Like, I mean, so it was yeah. Smashing.
Do you get any kind of idea of how big the adverts are going to be, or where they're going to be placed, or do you know what I mean? Because we're watching our telly on a Saturday afternoon or Sunday or whatever it is, and then straight away you come on. I'm thinking, this is a big old advert. This, you know? It's big old at Uber Eats. It's got you three.
Well, well, the amount of times I've had a phone call, like, you mean, they start laughing, like, you mean, and that so probably shows you a bit. But when I realised it was them sponsoring the Premier League,
Yeah.
you knew it's going to be big,
Proper
don't you?
deal, big deal.
And they said, like, they'll run. It won't just be an advert that's like for, you know, just for 2 or 3 weeks or whatever it is. They did, you know, they did a lot of takes on a lot of different adverts, and we're still contracted to them if they want to do a refresh, which I hope they do.
Oh, blooming right as well.
Probably
yeah.
might not be me up, but maybe they might. But we had to go down to the launch, the first game on Friday night for the start of the Premier League, and they did a big screen and had all the sponsors there, and they had all the Sky's, you know, like all the Sky's presenters there as well. Like, I mean, so that was a good evening as well. Like, I mean, and yeah, really enjoyed it. And of course, gets you out your comfort zone.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You know, so you there in front of the camera thinking, am I going to look foolish here or what? Like I mean, but
It's
the
mad,
calls,
isn't it?
the calls I've had has been great. The response, the Mickey taking's been unbelievable.
That's how it should be as well. Though.
Absolutely.
That's how it should
Do you have
be.
a favourite? Do you have a favourite one? The one for me is Tony Pulis.
Yeah,
when
I
he stand up, have a day off.
Have a day off, Tony. And he just sits down like a good boy
With
as well.
his
All right,
coat
yeah.
on, with his,
The
the
with
one
hat on
with
as
he thinks he's on the bench. I thought that was a good one.
Yeah.
By the way, he was sweating like that because about 80 degrees, 85 degrees with that on. He's had to have about 15, 20 takes on that.
And mopping the
When he
brow
comes
and all
up,
that
mopping
as
the
well.
brow, like, I mean,
By the way, we are sat in a lovely studio today because after this podcast, we're going to do your podcast.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
The No Tippy Toes.
No Tippy
Taps.
Tappy Football, yes. It's coming to fruition now, lads.
It's come back around,
It's
hasn't
coming
it?
back around. I'm telling you, it's. I've been going on it for three years now. About the change of style has to be a part of the Premier League to keep the level and the quality of the Premier League up. And we're seeing, long throws, and we're seeing goalkeepers dropping it in better areas, and I think that the
6'5"
mixing
strikers.
up 6'5" strikers, crosses into the box.
Yeah.
Instead of turning back out and going back across again and turn out and go back across again and back again. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's creating a bit more entertainment, I think, like you mean, and a bit more you could suss out everybody's going to play.
Yeah.
Before you started,
Too
and
predictable.
I'm sitting ready for it, like you mean, and then I'm going, well, I might just turn over, see if there's another, see what's that game on, and I think that, the level of entertainment is still there, but excitement is not as exciting as it used to be. It is exciting, but there's not as many real exciting games. So when you go and looking at, I'm all about the simplicity of the game, but when I'm watching the game, I look at the stats, I've been stats for years and years and years, back in '99, and I was always counting on how many balls you get in the box, how many balls are in the 18-yard box, how many shots have you had, and how many crosses have you had, and our lads who did all that research way back in the day, there was types of crosses that were more productive. You know what I mean? And that became about, why have you not crossed it when you could have done? Why have you turned back and gone back and gone back around, like I mean? So it was telling everybody that when we're here, the lads in the box can make a run because it's going to be crossed.
Yeah, you can trust it. It's going to come.
So they're not going to start the run and turn back, and then they go, oh, and then they have to check out and come back in again. So it was a simplicity of it, based on stats, based on percentages, which ultimately paid massive dividends for me and the teams that I had. Once the lads got a grip of it, which takes a while, but because the board to go in the analyst room, so you have to break that down so it's not so long. You have to sort of try and get them to think about it more, so it becomes an everyday part of their life. And a lot took it on board collectively. A lot went on their own and go to Statsman and say, what am I looking like? So it created a hub for improving players on how much they wanted to use it themselves and how much we used it to give them the opportunity to win a game. So that was always our intention, which, in all fairness, some of the negativity people sort of talked about me and my way I play and stuff, all that, all the crap that came with it. I particularly had to accept it, but it was true in many cases. So when we're playing Arsenal, we're gonna spoil them, But when we're playing somebody that we feel we could be more creative than we were, and that was only on the basis of us getting better players. So once we got better players, I'm talking about Bolton in particular, but everywhere I went, we got better. Later on, we got better, but not good enough to keep West Brom up, like you mean.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't really count Leeds because it was only 4 games, like you mean. But it worked with the players. It improved the players. It improved the way we played. It improves the entertainment value. But of course, the negative had already stuck.
Yeah.
No matter what, you know what I mean. So, people before that even or hardly ever watched us would say, "Oh, long ball, this long ball," you know what I mean. So, but we never let it. I always go back to this in the end. When I've got Nicholas Anelka, JJ Kocher, Fernando Yere, Yuri Okaev, Gary Speed, Ivan Campo, Gudny Bergson, Stelios Yanakopoulos, Elad Diouf, JJ Kocher, and Vincent Candelar, World Cup winners, European Championship winners, we were still long ball. And I used to laugh, really. And the amount of entertainment, which was more important for me at the end because it was my love and still is my love, was Bolton Wanderers. And I did it there.
This episode is brought to you by Coca-Cola, the official partner of the Premier League. In the Premier League, everyone pushes their hardest to win. And now it's your turn. With their EPL Fantasy Challenge, Coca-Cola are giving you a chance to win big by beating the best. All you have to do is build a team based on rules set by an icon. And to help you on your way, I've got a tip to help you build your team. Make sure you keep an eye on fixtures. Who are the players up against next? Sometimes it's not about form. Like, there are some players that, for whatever reason, always play well against certain teams. So do your research. To get involved in the EPL Fantasy Challenge, all you've got to do is grab a Coke and scan the code on the pack. Just by playing, you get a chance to win Coke swag or vouchers. But if you beat the icon who set the rules, you could win vintage Coca-Cola jerseys, Premier League tickets, and more. So go ahead and get involved. Grab a Coke, drink it in. So when you watch Premier League today, then, right, and you're watching,
I shout at the telly.
So Bournemouth Newcastle at the weekend, okay. Bournemouth kicked off, right, and they passed it 6 yards back, and the player flicked it up in the air and booted it as high as he could toward Nick Pope's goal. It's like, what on earth has happened to this beautiful game that Pep Guardiola's trying to play, and now all of a sudden everyone's gone, should we just change it again?
But Brentford started it last year, didn't they?
PSG did it in the Champions League final.
Brentford, I think they scored more goals in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah. They scored 3 or 4 in a row, didn't they?
In a row in the first 5 minutes, and then that was going back to the goalie.
Yeah.
Like you mean, and then everybody starts going back to the goalie. So why do that? Like you mean, I don't know why you want to do back to the goalie everybody.
Yeah.
Because then that becomes predictable. Like you mean, so I'd always try and change it now and again. Just now and again, not every week, just now and again, because the players got to get used to it, always getting used to where they go and what they do. But the stats, the only one I don't like now is predict a goal.
XG.
I
had a feeling you wouldn't like that one. That
just chokes me, like well, well, in other words, they should have won, but they haven't. You know what I mean? So and I think the sad thing is it's happened again already this year to Nuno. Yeah. We don't want to play that style of football anymore.
Crazy, isn't it?
You know what I mean? And I go, oh my God, this guy was the most successful.
Sixth place finish for
behind Liverpool.
7th place finish for Notts Forest.
But most of the year in the top 4.
Yeah, incredible, isn't it?
You know what I mean? And I think that he was second successful to Liverpool, I thought, in what he'd achieved, because the year before, normally they would have gone down with the points they had. Yeah. 32, I think it was. Yeah. And he converted that, as well as the owner and the money they put into it. It's not just you; it has to be everybody. And they did a terrific job. And then I think he knew it was. He'd been tapped up. I think that's why he said what he said. Yeah. So when they say he should have said that, he said that because he knew what was happening.
Yeah, it's not naive, is it?
Because we all know. Yeah. I've known it when I'm leaving way before I've left.
Do you? How do you know? Is it rumblings from
the
fans?
It's the contacts you have, yeah. The contacts, you'll get a rumble or a rumour, and you'll go. The two most important ones that I had was Newcastle, which I knew was happening, and Everton.
Yeah. Are you talking? Are you days in advance here, or are
Months.
you weeks or months in advance?
Months. It was weeks at Newcastle, but were months at Everton.
Wow. And so you've got to carry on at that point, knowing that they're considering making a change, or they could make a change at any given moment. So you know, if you lose a game on a Saturday afternoon, bullet could come.
Yeah, you know, because you see, these things are about why you sustain your position as a manager or keep your career going by the senses that you create and the people that you know and the people you trust and the feelers that you put out. You know what I mean? And to know if you're naive enough to just continue to do your own job and don't know what's going on all around at your football club, internally and externally if you can, then I think you're a bit naive.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that, you know, it's just one of those things. I mean, you know, I had a great relationship with Farhad. You know, he was the one that chose me. But, you know, it wasn't everybody at the Everton board level that wanted me then. You know, and if Farhad had been a bit stronger and just said, no, I'm keeping Sam, because we know, you know, for Everton particularly, we finished 8th. Like, I mean, so I thought deserved another goal. But, you know, it's all, again, even there, it's all about the football. Like, I mean, well, we could only play the football that the team were capable of playing. And that was to get them out of trouble and get them in a safe position, which was, I considered one of the, I looked and went, wow, we've gone from 16th to 8th. We could have nearly finished in Europe.
Incredible, isn't
Yeah.
it? And then you get sacked next season.
But it's like look at your time at Blackburn. Like I think with like Forest, for example.
That's a change of ownership, though. That's different.
Was that the Venke's when they came in?
Yeah,
was it?
Newcastle's a change of ownership and Blackburn's a change of ownership. These are two career destructive situations you find yourself in.
Yeah.
I tell you about Newcastle's the right place at the wrong time. Because Freddie Shepherd chased me for years. God rest his soul, Freddie. He chased me for a few years to come and manage Newcastle. So I get this brilliant job. Before Newcastle, I got Man City, but Man City got sold under my nose, just as and John Wardle and Dave Makin, who were the owners, and then sold to Shinawatra.
Yeah.
And they wanted Sven. So that was that. That was the end of that. Then Freddie came in, and Newcastle, and then we'd not even start the season, and then they bought out from under his nose without him knowing. Excuse me. Which was the biggest letdown for Freddie in his life, because Freddie was Newcastle in his bones, in his blood.
This was Mike Ashley, right?
Yeah, Mike brought it out.
Yeah.
Not that that's not his fault. He was expected that if ever the co-owner was going to sell up, it was Freddie that had the first dibs to buy him out, and that didn't happen. So obviously Freddie got bought out as well at the same time, and not that I have any real problem with that, because he was new to the running of football. So we were fighting against the grain all the time, because the money wasn't there to invest that was promised under Freddie, but not Mike.
Yeah.
You know, he's paid, I don't know what he paid. Seems not that much now or something. I don't know, 80, 90, 100 million at the time. It was a lot then. It doesn't seem that much these days, does it? You know what I mean? But Mike had to find his way, and of course I was a casualty of that, because somebody was in his ear about, you know, you got to get somebody else, and you move on. Blackburn was exactly the same, which I thought was a great shame, because we were always going to be in the Premier League. In my opinion, the way that Blackburn worked, you know what I mean? Because there were John Williams. The Blackburn setup was different. There was owners, but not really owners.
Yeah.
Because it was the family. There were directors, but not directors with lots of money in. Just directors of local business who were Blackburn fans. So that was really quite a good working
Yeah,
relationship
they cared
with
about
John
the club,
Williams.
yeah.
And they were employees just like you are. And it's all about the financing as well as the football. So it's all about staying and doing as best you can in the Premier League, but there's a certain limit we have to find. At the end of the season, there's a certain amount of money we might have to find to get ready for next season. So buying and selling, which by that time I'd become pretty good at, with John was all about the balance. But, selling off enough to keep the bank happy and getting enough to keep the fans happy.
That's an art, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a
You
real
know what I
art.
mean?
Because with Blackburn, like, surely history must tell owners that stability, right? Because obviously when you left Blackburn, I think you were 13th, following season 15th under Steve Keane.
Yeah.
They've not seen the Premier League since.
Semi-final of the League Cup as well, lost to Villa. So it was a good time. Great setup, Blackburn training ground, and I think that the one thing that I was really pleased about the Blackburn fans, because I'm Bolton,
Yeah,
and
of
then
course, yeah.
Blackburn's,
Yeah.
I live between Blackburn and Bolton, like you mean. I thought, am I going to get some,
Pelters there.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean. But in actual fact, I didn't quite know they ate Burnley a lot more.
Yeah, you're all right. You'll be all right.
I mean,
with Blackburn, you're fine.
it's violent. Burnley Blackburn's violent. You know what I mean? Bolton, there's a certain amount of hatred, but not like the hatred of Burnley Blackburn. You know what I mean? So I had a real good time there at Blackburn, and then all of a sudden the Venkis take over, and
Was it true?
10 days, 2 weeks gone.
So we heard kind of fairly sharpish that when they actually finalised the deal for Blackburn, they didn't believe or know that relegation was an actual thing.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Can you imagine? They didn't know you could get relegated because they've come from. They watch a lot of American.
Well, they found out
sports
very
and-
quickly, didn't they?
Oh, didn't they just?
Yeah. As an agent did the deal, which was financially very good for him, like I mean, but I think that, it's very clever in terms of the way he done the deal. But
withholding
I don't think he told them the whole truth about relegation and promotion. They're actually still there, the Venkis,
they are, I
yeah.
know.
but I don't think they go anymore
No.
because of the stick they've had, like I mean. But I mean, funding the football club is not an easy job today, but you can't fund it anyway.
No.
Not allowed anymore.
I've been going about this for probably a year or two now. Probably the worst rule ever in football is the financial
PSR.
fair play. PSR. I mean, how can you not invest in your own business if you're a multi-millionaire and you want to invest it? It's not about being fair. It's about looking after the people who work in your football club being the best at what they can do to get the best out of what you've got and what you can and cannot spend. And you can, and if you get the right infrastructure and the right, I always got the right relationship between you and the board or you and the executives, means that if that relationship is good, you'll forge success in the end.
Yeah.
Whether it's enough success for whoever's watching or the fans particularly, or that's a difficult matter. But you can punch above your weight for quite a while if you get the processes right on thinking forward. It's about next month. It's about the month after that. But what about next year and the year after that and the year after that?
Yeah.
I don't think you can go past 3 years these days. But far too many clubs go, it's this year,
And that's it.
full
So
stop.
we can
It's
think
next
of-
year,
Yeah, we'll
full
think
stop.
about that
It's
then.
next year. Instead of saying what's happening in the academy,
Yeah, future planning.
where's the next level of players. So it's why I left Bolton in the end, because we totally laid out the plans. So I was sitting at the top of the league in Bolton, and I was talking to the board about next season we're going to have to replace, Yuri Okayev, JJ Okocha or Fernando Hierro's going, what budget's going to be played in for that one, like you mean? And they go, don't worry about that. No.
I've got to.
You've got to. This is how much it's going to cost you. What do you mean? Well, I can't get these free transfers anymore. You know what I mean? I can't get Nicholas Anelka for 8 million. Because we've in fact, just after I left, they sold it for 16 million to Chelsea. Oh. So, and the I wouldn't say ignorance, but they ignored it. So I'm facing decline, smacking me right in the face.
There's nothing you can do about it. That's it.
Because they don't want to.
You can't work with it.
And you go, wow. So it broke my heart to leave, but my brain says, you know, this is you and this is your career. You know, I mean, I could have sat there for probably, I don't know how many years and tried to save them, but would eventually gone like they did.
Writings on the wall.
Well, they went much quicker than I thought they would. And I didn't want to be a part of that, where it ends up, it ends up on you.
Yeah, go out on a high.
Because you're the manager. He's past it now. Let's get rid of him. So planning and forward planning is a big ask. But of course, today you're just a coach. So that's gone from your responsibility.
You're not picking the players anymore.
No, not picking the players. You've got input, but you've not got the ultimate say. And you're not running a football club like you do as a manager, which is why the Europeans have bought this coaching tag in. I'm not sure. If a manager's capable, let him manage. Yeah. If a coach is only capable of coaching, let him coach. Yeah. And put around him everything that goes with that to make it successful. But if you're restricted as a manager because you've got the ultimate experience in managing, and they say, well, it's not your responsibility anymore. You think, you're ignoring a huge amount of experience. Sitting down doing contracts, not a problem. Right, how much do you want? Yes, okay. I used to have Simon, the secretary, alongside, who would write everything, all the facts down, like I mean, and then say, sorry, no.
Oh, I'd love it. I'd love to see an agent walk into an office and you're sat there. Go on then, let's go. Let's have it.
Because we'd done our research before then. So, I mean, a lot of the joy, particularly at Bolton, was the fact that they all want to play in the Premier League. Yeah. So they've all had to go everywhere else. Bigger clubs than perhaps Bolton was. But then we got a good reputation for by the fact the size of the players that we got it. So taking that on to going to West Ham and places like that had to get promoted, and then Blackburn having to save a football club, and then Sunderland, all the recruitment experience is what saved us, as well as all the management you do to get over that package. Yeah. So without the help of the board and all the boards, even West Brom went out the way to try. We didn't buy anybody, but we got 4 loans. Yeah. They tried, and I appreciated that. Like you mean, listen, Sam, we ain't got, but we have got some money to get your loans, and we every day we were there till God knows what, with the director of football and the chief executive trying to get these loan players. And we ended up getting 4, which made us better, but not good enough. Like me.
We're going to talk about some of the players that you signed in a minute, because Tom's been doing a bit of research. But first, just a quick little bit on West Brom, because West Brom kind of my team. Sam, you're still a bit of a legend, by the way.
West Brom was
pictures of you down in the walls and stuff.
Two spells.
Yeah,
because I had Brian Talbot, my first coaching spell. Yeah, which was an experience in itself. I mean, workaholic Brian, I used to call him. I mean, he was a player manager, right? And he did all of the pre-season, all of it. He's 34, 35, and he's at front of the queue. Like, I mean, I'm player reserve team coach, so I'm doing a lot of the pre-season because he wants me playing the reserves as well, like help bring the youngsters on, if you like. And it was just like, wow. This man never ever stops, like you mean. So that was a good. Unfortunately, the second season, we got on well. He put me up to first team coach, and Stuart Pearson wasn't very happy, and the big mistake Brian made was he demoted Stuart to reserve team coach instead of paying him up.
Okay.
You know what I mean? The resentment Stuart had, not to me, and I don't blame him, because he thinks that I've stitched him up, and want me, and I'm going, hey, look, Brian,
he should have just been out the building,
should
basically.
have been gone. Not that I don't know whether Stuart that, but it just didn't work. We got beat in the FA Cup, third round. I'm sat there going, oh my God, here we go. I ain't going to survive this. So that's horrible, the first sacking.
Yeah, is it? Is that the one that stings the most? Yeah.
Oh, you go, oh my God, what am I going to do now?
Yeah, it turned out all right, actually. It turned out all right.
Yeah, it turned out okay in the end.
Right, Tom, you've been doing a little bit of AI question asking. How'd you get on with AI? How'd you get on with AI? You a fan of it or what?
Can't touch it.
Right.
70, man.
Well, we're going to test. We're going to test.
If I was 50, I'd spite have a go.
Right. After this, we want to talk about the modern terminologies in football. So hold that thought. But I asked AI last night. We're in our early 40s.
Oh, right, good lad. Yeah.
Early 40s. So we
we're
like
on the cusp of it,
Bolton.
Yeah.
Sam Allardyce's Bolton was, for us, they were the nostalgia years, the best years of football. Right. But I asked AI, who are the best 5 signings during Sam Allardyce's football career? Who are the best 5 players you've signed? So I've got a list of 5 here, but is there any names that you'd throw as to kind of key signings?
A couple straight away at the top.
A few that
Well, Yuri had to be Yuri Yokayev had to be one of the first. I mean, you're talking about a World Cup winner.
Yeah.
A World Cup winner, a Euro winner, and a man that's just unbelievable as a person. No airs or graces, small car, scruffy.
So when you sign him, are you surprised yourself that you?
No,
lads,
I'm curious. So I use a lot of agents.
Right.
So we're not experienced in Europe. I come from Notts County. I'm experienced in all the reserve teams in England, some in Scotland, and know how to do a deal, particularly loan deals and stuff like that. Know how to deal with players to sign them on at them football clubs. But Europe is another factor. So agents were my forte, contrary to what and finding a few that you can work with. From the point of view of understanding what you've got to spend and their knowledge of what's available.
Sure.
As well as scouting. So scouting is, good scouts keep their ear to the ground. So when they come back from wherever they've travelled in Europe, they go, such a body is not happy.
Okay. Yeah. A bit more info than
such a body's not too good. I heard they're getting rid of such. I heard he's fell out with the manager. So an agent rang me, which was a big mate of Reedy's, Mike Morris, and said, Yuri Yokayev needs to play. And I go, this is January, I think. So I said, yeah. He said, well, do you fancy him? I said, yeah, will he come? He goes, well, I don't know, we can go and meet him. I said, all right then. I'll jump on a plane and we'll go and meet him. So we jumped on the plane. I used to take a few of the lads who could put a few, because they wouldn't know where Bolton were. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So they wouldn't know where Bolton is, you know what I mean? So we've got a few visuals, and because they've got a good stadium, haven't we? Like, I mean, that's good. It's good to go. So we go and meet Yuri. He's in Germany, Kaiserslautern, I think, been bombed out. And this deal was only done on the back of the fact that the coach at France, national coach, had said, if you're not playing, you're not going to get in the World Cup squad. So we said, yeah, come on loan. Yeah, I'll come on loan. And that was the deal done.
Wow.
And my sell to the board was it's quite expensive for the short time he's here, but it's not if we don't stay up, it's not a financial ball breaker.
Yeah.
That he's still here when if we go down, he's off the wage bill. It's not like when Bolton got relegated. It's why they got into trouble, because when I got there, it was like 60 million in the red, which was a lot of money then. So that was my sell. You know, we find that this money, it's only from here till the end of the season. So Yuri goes away, plays in the World Cup, and this was the, well, we must be doing something right. I want to come back.
So he's a free agent at this point?
Yeah, I want to come back. So we signed him on a 3-year contract.
Wow.
So he comes back for 3 years, 3 fabulous years with Yuri. And that started, even though we got other players like Bruno Ngotti, Bernard Mendy, people like that from on loan, you know what I mean, that season. Not the name like this.
Yeah.
You know, and then we, in all fairness, then we got the negative press. You know, oh, he's just here to rip us off. He's only, you know, why is he coming playing for Bolton? He's not going to come and really do this or really do that, you know. So, same with Campo, same with Yuri, same with Fernando Hierro. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, how did we get these? Like, I sometimes wonder how do we get. I still got them. Like, I mean, and I think that that brought a sort of aura around Bolton to be able to get these players, and not believe you me, not everyone, nobody really knows about all the times I sat with a big player and didn't get him and didn't mention it.
Is there a one that got away?
Oh, there's got to be a one,
Well,
Sam.
there's one or two we spoke to, but I'm not so sure they ever got that near. Like, I mean, Eto'o was you know,
okay.
He was playing for Mallorca.
Wow.
At the time, he was on loan from Madrid. That was another one. I think there was others that were interested in club coming, but never really got that far. Like you mean, but I think that when you're searching for what you're searching for, Rivaldo
Wow.
sat in the hotel in Manchester with him. Like you mean, I'm not so sure he'd have worked for us. I'm not so sure he'd have fancied it in the end. But we met in the Lowry.
Rivaldo at
Everybody
the Reebok.
everybody ringing Fergie, thinking he was going Man United. Apparently. Yeah. So it was us, Bolton Wanderers, in the hotel that we met him in. So it was. There was always an appetite for a big player. If there were one available, you know, Jufid got bombed out at Liverpool, so we took him on loan, then signed him. So a lot of that happened.
Yeah.
Take them on loan if they want to stay, great. If they've done well, we want to keep you. And so the challenges are not big financial statements.
Is that, do you know what? It's a nice little niche to get into. That is those players that have been bombed out a little bit, a point to prove. I think, Sam, a player with a point to prove is more valuable than most.
But isn't that the nous of having the scouting network and the agents?
To find that out.
Isn't this all the part of a managerial job back in the day? Is running every pulling
it's
the
not
strings.
jumping on a plane and going.
Yeah.
If you've got a good staff, which I had, it took a long time. We spent a long time making sure all our staff became a part of the journey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We've got the psychologist lads in them saying, are you gonna these get-togethers, these away days we called them, where we'd all talk about where are we under, and these lads would front it up. Not me, they'd front up, like we all on the same journey. You know what I mean? Are we all gonna, you know, we're all going down the same road, like I mean. So that was it. That carried on to all the clubs I went to, and tried to implement as much as that, depending on how long I was going to be. I mean, ultimately, in the end, it just became, that's not important. I'm just going to save the football club because the bottom of the league, when you know, that was the downside of getting shafted at Newcastle and Blackburn. It spoils your career. Your reputation's not the same, whether it's your fault or not. You know what I mean? So that's how it came about. But I mean, so wherever it was, West Ham built it back up for 4 years. Promoted the first year, 3 years in the Prem, still there, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was all about that model. Is still there. That model is still there to grow a football club. There's got more to it now with algorithms and AI.
Well, listen to
Yeah, I
AI.
mean,
This is the top 5. So go
AI
on,
didn't put Yuri Djorkaeff in there at all, by the way.
Go on.
AI can do one. Right, so top 5 then. Aaron Cresswell, bought him for £3.5 million at West Ham.
Oh yes, it lasted 10 years, didn't it?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Incredible. Got him from Ipswich.
That's
I
right,
remember. Ivan Campo, Bolton. He's
Yeah.
in 4th, free transfer.
Yeah.
Nicholas Anelka in at number 3, Bolton,
Yeah.
£8 million.
Yeah.
Kevin Davies in
Yeah.
at 2nd, Bolton, free.
Yeah.
And then number 1, JJ Okocha, Bolton, free transfer 2002.
He's so good they named him twice.
Hey, there you go.
There
There
you
you go.
Yeah.
So is that? Does that sound about right? Is that a pretty solid top 5 of players that you've signed in your career?
It is in terms of what career they've had and
Yeah.
what they've done. Like I mean, like Aaron Cresswell was like
3.5 million. Yeah.
Neil McDonald said, "You've got to sign him." So I said, "All right, we'll sign him.
Yeah.
Be it on your head."
Oh, cheers.
Is he one of your scouts, Neil McDonald?
No,
or
he's
coach?
assistant manager.
Assistant manager. is he?
Yeah. He said, "I've been 4 times." He said, "So all right, then we'll sign him." Whoa. Do you not want to watch him yourself? No. Yeah, you said
You've
he's
been 4
good enough.
times.
Sure, you're right next to me. Sure, it's your
Yeah,
responsibility now. What I mean? So
It's funny. I remember, like, this is completely random, but I was at West Brom at the time, and he was at Ipswich, Aaron Cresswell, and he got Player of the Year that year. He did for Ipswich, and we were looking at him. West Brom were looking at him as well, and I was thinking, that'd be a great.
they
signing.
bought it from Tranmere, didn't they?
Yeah,
if I remember
he's
right.
a great lad, great signing,
yeah, very
solid
good.
as a rock,
Yeah.
isn't he? Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's nice. Well, yeah, I don't think it's done too bad though. I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah. Oh, we need
He's not
to.
got Yero in.
No, it hasn't got the air.
I'll tell you what. His passing was right. You know, you tell me the best passer in Premier League. Do you
Scholesy.
think? Yeah, well, he's up there.
Oh,
I used to sit behind him. Sorry, I used to stand behind him. And we used to practice on the Reebok a lot. So I used to stand behind him, and I used to start where all the different areas of the pitch. So Fernando was a centre half, and I'd moved him
yeah,
in the anchor position because he couldn't run anymore. So if you can't run back there, you can't play there.
Yeah.
So not in the Premier League. So he's in the 3. You know what I mean? So he's the spare man. So I'd set up how we're going to play, and our player, our style was always to get that man on the ball, which was Campo before him,
Yeah.
and of course Fernando Hierro. Which Campo was bloody good, but so I just stand behind him, and then drop the ball, and we're playing. So and he's playing, and I'm going right. Stop. Front 3. What are you doing coming to feet? What? I said, he's on the ball. What are you doing coming to feet? I said, I can accept one of you front 3. I said, the others has to go behind.
stretch it as much as possible.
You know what I mean? So we'd start dropping the ball, and they'd run, he'd go. So I said, we don't waste this talent. We don't waste this talent about he gets this ball and he goes that
Little simple passes.
15 foot. But what happens is especially in the early part of the game, he stretches the opposition. So we stretch the opposition, what happens? The back 4 drops off.
Yeah.
So what happens now?
Drop in.
It's all about playing in the space again, isn't it? But then we play the man in the hole, and then the wide man comes off the line to play him in, and so we all get him on the ball.
He's just
as much as we
dictating
can.
it then, basically.
So eventually somebody's going to have to work out in the opposition where they're going to actually put somebody on him. But then he'll wander off. He's so clever, like you mean. He'll wander off and leave it to other people to play. So the talent can only shine by the players in front of him.
Yeah.
to give him the options, and his passing ability was just... I mean, I've never spent as long on a player trying to get him to stay another year. But he only came... This is a good story, but he only came to get his kids, one, play in the Premier League before he finishes, and two, his son and his mate came to come to school to learn English.
No.
Oh, right, okay.
Unreal. Whatever it takes, we'll sign you up.
We'll sign him on.
He was 36 when you signed him.
Yeah. But it was just that. But I mean, I had to have a lot of trouble about some of this. I said, please tell me if I'm talking about Bolton too much. If I go to another club, shut up. For God's sake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Keep your mouth shut.
Is Bolton your team? If you look back on it now, will they be the one?
Well, they give me the chance to play football. 15. Played for them till I left, and then went back and played a little bit, and then came back in on my birthday, 45, and 19th of October 1999. So the rest of the other journeys were not were shorter than I thought, and some were longer than expected. Like I mean, but in the end, managing became a more a short-term prospect than a long-term one, because of the way you had a great career, don't have a problem with it. But just sometimes you think back and think certain areas and certain times had it reversed, what would it have been like I mean? But then again, I could have been lost to it all forever, because nobody would have taken me up after Blackpool.
Yeah.
You know, we lost in the playoffs, but he got sacked at Blackpool. Then Reedy gives a job in the academy just say like, you know, you've done youth team coaches and stuff like that at Preston. So have a look. And then Notts County come in. Notts County happened because when I was leaving Preston, I got an interview for Notts County way back then, and they remembered it. So they got me back. So that it was on the back of 3 or 4 years when they interviewed me that they gave me a chance out. And of course, what I'd done at Blackpool, getting in the playoffs, started me at Notts County, and then Notts County become successful, like you mean, and then Bolton's at the right time.
What's it, 300?
So there's the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
Whereas Newcastle's the right place at the wrong time.
Can we talk a little bit about goalkeepers, please, Sam?
Oh yes.
I had to interfere, and because I am an interfering. When the goalkeeping coach looks at you and go, "Well, what's it got to do with you?" You know what I mean. So like you know, old Fred Barber, particularly at Bolton at the time. But I tended to leave goalkeepers, coaches alone most of the time as I got older, and not as frantic as I used to be. Like, because I was like everybody else in the early days, I'd be looking at everything,
12 hours a day.
Yeah, looking at everything.
Not good for your health. Not good for decision making. Not good for anybody really. At some stages, like I mean, but yeah, goalkeeping coaches, big part of the success.
Yeah. You've had some good goalkeepers, you have. So Jussi Jääskeläinen, Bolton, West Ham as well. Paul Robinson. You even had a young Jordan Pickford at Sunderland for a little bit as well. When you look back, who was your favourite that you enjoyed working with? Not necessarily the best, but your favourite and you enjoyed working with?
Goalkeeper?
Yeah.
Oh, Pick was just off the wall, man.
He still is, mate.
I got him at Everton as well.
He still is,
when I went there. Like, I mean, you know what? Doesn't he handle the criticism well?
Unbelievable. I totally agree with that.
The amount of punters that have tried to get him out
I know.
out the England team.
Solid as a rock, though, isn't he?
You know what I mean? He's unfortunately not fashionable, is he?
Yeah, I know.
Because he's not 6'4". You know what I mean?
It's amazing, isn't it? What they deem as unfashionable,
with big dirty gloves on, like you mean, like look like. I mean, they are a presence when they're that size. Don't get me wrong, and they are more intimidating, aren't they? As you well know, because that was your position. But his level of understanding at such a young age was unbelievable.
You could just say it, yeah?
Yeah. And he's not fazed if he makes a mistake. He don't go to pieces like some of you lot used to, you know what I mean? You get a goalie that goes to pieces when he drops a bollock and you go, oh, dearie me.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean? When the bum starts twitching. You know what I mean? They've got a terrible position to be in. How did you do it?
It's horrible, isn't it?
Why have you not got grey hair?
I have. Can you not see this?
We used to go on about... Fred was my first full-time goalkeeper coach, Fred Barber. You know, mad.
Legend,
Fred,
though.
Legend, mad. Like, used to smash goalkeepers in training with his left foot, volley him right. You know what I mean? But really, I mean, that was you see Escalade, if he didn't have Fred, wouldn't be the goalkeeper he was.
Yeah.
If Fred had left, he'd have gone to pieces.
Yeah, really,
and
yeah.
I really got concerned about that, about the attachment too much in case, you know, somebody might come and say to Fred, come and be goalkeeper at Man United, and he's gone, and I can't keep him. Yeah. But then, you know, it's a good goalkeeper coaches, but I'd have to say Martin Margerson after that.
Yeah, Marga.
He took Marge. I give him responsibility, and he took it on the head for set play defending.
Yeah.
So that's another area for me that's off the agenda, because he goes, right, so he go and I'd stand in the back
And let him do it.
And then we'd talk about it, and then I wouldn't stand in the back.
Yeah. You can just trust him, let him go.
Because we'd gone through it beforehand. So rather than me stand at the back and everybody saying, "Oh, the gaffer's here," he gives him more responsibility, and he gets more respect, because so we you know, because we always calculated how many goals we didn't score, and how many goals we conceded off set plays. Our league table said that we have to score more goals off set plays.
Yeah.
Every set play, throw-ins, corners, free kicks, that we have to score more than we concede. So we had a table on where we are, and then we had a Premier League table on who was the best. So who was the best Premier League club at scoring off throw-ins, corners, free kicks, and who was the worst team conceding off goals. So we had the tables.
And then your game plan is...
So the game plan is that's going to help us finish in a better place in the league. Like
it's almost like people don't like to talk about set plays if it's an ugly part of the game. But if you watch football on Saturday afternoon, majority of goals are scored by set plays, second balls, third balls.
I'd like to know what the percentage is now. Like when we were doing the percentages, at the end of the season, our review would be, particularly in the early years, it kept us in the Premier League, help us keep in the Premier League. Not the only thing. But at the early stages, the overall Premier League, if I remember rightly, was about 28%. Yeah. We were at 38%.
Oof. Yeah.
So, you know, and when we were conceding, we were in the top 6.
Yeah. Least goals conceded.
From set plays. So it's easy to show the players if you put up a league table.
Yeah. It's facts then, isn't it?
You know what I mean? These are all, this is the genius of intelligent young interns who have a boss who talks to you and ask him to go away and have a look at it. It's not my invention; it's my idea. But they go and invent the overall look and what do we do to be successful. So we take the games at the start, and we say our first 10 games or 8, but I can't remember how many it was then, would be relevant to how our season's going to go. Yeah. So you can't start this crap about, well, we've lost but there's 36 left.
Poof.
No.
It won't like that, does it? You can't just turn it around like that. Yeah.
So our aim was always to have more points than games in the first 10 games. And the more you achieve that is the better season you'll have.
Yeah.
And the more you stay at the bottom 3, the longer you stay at the bottom 3, the easier it is. This is in the early years, and then you progress from there. This is how you get to the top half. This is how you get to Europe. You know what I mean?
Did
So
you
that's
incentivise
evolved.
people on the first 10 games? Did you ever kind of formalise that? Where
No, well, only by, let's go out have a drink.
Okay.
Let's go out.
Yeah.
That sounds
have a
all right
day
to
off.
me, like.
You know what I mean? Look, you can't do that anymore. You know what I mean?
No. It's
Can't
different.
go out. And we used to go out and sit out, have a meal. Then they go, I'd leave, and then they'd go out to Manchester or wherever it was, like, and then go, don't get into trouble, whatever you do. Like, I mean, so that can't, you get, they'd want to sack you for that now.
Yeah, they would.
You know what I mean?
Was it on
Dubai trips,
Yeah.
Was it
best
was it
ever.
Chris Brown? Was it? I'm sure he said they had your credit card one night, didn't they? On the night out, the Blackburn lads.
No, that was, yeah. Yeah, that was the case. That was the end of a pre-season.
Right.
Yeah.
When you just gave it over, enjoy the night,
Yeah,
lads.
enjoy. Well done, lads. You had a good night. Croatia, it was that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I had to pay for a private jet back
Why?
because the shitty plane the club had ordered, couldn't get our players and our kit on the plane, and it was a propeller job.
Oh, no.
And I went, you got multi-million pounds worth of talent, and you're expecting us to go on that crap. So it went on the club's expenses, mind. It didn't come out of my pocket in the end. Like I mean, so I think Ryan Nelson knew somebody, or somebody knew somebody that dropped us a private jet.
As you do, love
Flew
it.
back, yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that. I mean, you're talking about stories that the lads are talking about. Like, I mean, I had no idea that they would still be talking about that now. I mean, I'd know, like, I mean, it's like, saying that, that it's just me. So how I want to manage. I was always told to do it your own way. And a lot of your own way is chunks of other managers you've had.
Yeah, sure.
And coaches. So it is your own way, but there's lots of experience from all your other coaches and managers you've had that take you on that journey, and you making your own decisions within that career they've got.
Does it frustrate you these days? You said earlier on about shouting at the TV, but this terminology in football around how it's kind of slowly coming 360, but the blocks and the low blocks and the genius
The group.
Yeah, well,
instead of the squad.
What's all this about?
Well, I mean, I always used to say I got so peed up, particularly the group. I got so peed off about it. I said to all my staff and players, it's a squad. So if you got called a group, you'd have to pay a small fine. Mind you, I got called a couple of times myself. Like, I mean, Gaffer, you said group.
Yeah.
Oh, slap me on the face, say you naughty boy. But I just think that terminology is just people trying to get a bit clever about low block and, I don't know. It's just the way game moves on, I suppose, and they're trying to make it more complicated than it really is, and it's never been complicated. And if you want success, never will be. Inverted, lateral.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, it's good, mate.
So if you could create that terminology and it sticks, you've done well. If you've created it, I suppose. But
and do you feel like you don't almost got the credit? Because I'm obviously doing a lot of research last night, and I remember back in the day, but you were one of the early, like Arsene Wenger's credited with a lot when he came over to the country, and I'm sure he did, but you were doing a lot of the data-driven stuff, psychology. I think Toes was with you briefly at Newcastle and said about the cryo chambers that went when you left, and lots of different things, which
it's a boot room at Bolton now. Paid 150 grand for that cryotherapy chamber at Bolton.
Cool.
Just in the country, 2000, probably 2001.
So what we're talking?
We're the only one in the country at any football club.
Really?
Oh, you try and get the lads in it, by the way. Oh,
is it the one that you stand up in for like 30 seconds or 2 minutes? That's
2
it.
minutes.
Yeah.
You get the mask on, gloves
on, yeah.
The feet on. Yeah, it's really bad.
It's like something minus.
Minus 120.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It is.
Liquid nitrogen.
That's the one.
It's quicker than an ice bath, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. But do you feel sometimes like does it bother you that maybe you weren't given the credit, or do you kind of laugh it off a bit?
It couldn't in the end. If I were going to let that, it stuck and it never left. And it's all about other people making excuses, not just the press, but managers who are playing against who felt that they had to try and make something as an excuse why we beat them. Like
Moaning,
I mean,
basically.
so it was always that. Like I mean, but it's the internal success within that we felt, and the camaraderie that was always my go-to goal, and the white noise on the outside was you just had to blank it off. But it's a career destructor rather than a career developer, because there'd be lots of football clubs would have not considered me for the job when it came up because of that
perception.
Perception, yeah.
What's your favourite result at the end of a Saturday afternoon? I remember Tony.
1-0.
Yeah, same. I knew it. It's the same thing. Same thing. Tony, I remember getting out of the shower. TP came up to me and he went, 1-0. I love 1-0s, Ben. I love it. They're so close, but not enough, and they go home with nothing. And I was like, yes, I love
Clean
it.
sheet.
Love it.
Clean sheet. It's the basis of every successful football club is based on its defensive record at every level.
It's a pride, isn't it? It's
but
solid pride.
nobody talks about it, and everybody sees it as a negative. Like I mean, and I go, but if you've got the best defence, you win the Premier League.
Yeah.
You certainly may not win the Premier League, but you'll come second because you will not have to score as many goals as the opposition that's challenged you to win it. And we all know goal scoring is one of the hardest things to do. So, and it goes hand in hand. And of course, attacking play becomes more regular if you've got the best defence, and that's what people don't understand. Because you win the ball back quicker, you win the ball back more often, and so you create more attacks. But everybody sees this. I mean, coaching defending today has gone out the window.
It has, hasn't it?
I mean, my God, the position in the defenders now is just ridiculous.
Do you think? I think that's going to come
This
back
is Premier
round as well.
League.
I think
This is
it is,
Premier
Sam.
League. The square on. They don't know what's going on behind them. They haven't looked over the shoulder. They haven't adjusted the position. It goes over their head and they look round and think, well, that's not my fault. Well, yes, it is.
Not my
because
zone.
it's not my, you know what I mean? I'm going, oh my God, full backs with their arms behind the back going, oh, I don't want to stop this cross. You know what I mean? And I'm going, oh, wow. Put that right. Concede less goals and, you'll score more. Or buy the best defenders in the beginning and you probably don't have to coach them as much. I mean, I found that at Bolton. In the end, the lads saying, Gaffer, why are you doing this? Why? Well, we don't need to. Oh, all right then. So JJ Kocher, Yuri, so why are you doing this? We know. Oh, okay. God, my job didn't have to become easy then. My job just became complacency. Don't get complacent. Don't wait. They do it. That's why they played at the highest level.
Yeah.
They didn't need telling more than 2 or 3 times. Whereas where you come from, building yourself up from the lower division, you're hell bent on saying, repeat. When you get them, they go, okay, we understand. Yeah.
Work on something else.
Stop boring us.
Yeah.
All right, no problem. Yeah.
Sam, you've been incredible. Nearly at the end, just need a little bit of striker talk, if you don't
Go
mind.
on, yeah.
You love the big man up top. You love the big man up
Yeah,
top. Right,
hold it up.
I'm going to throw a few names at you.
Go on.
I need an answer to this. I need to
Go
know
on.
your favourite one to work with. So, Kevin Nolan, Kevin Davies, Matt Viduka, Andy Carroll, and Christian Benteke. Favourite one you've worked with? And for what reason?
I'd have to give it to, and this is going to shock a lot of people. You've left Nicholas Alokan off there, by the way.
I wouldn't class him as a big man. I'm not having him as a big man.
He's 6 foot.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
2,
yeah,
1,
he is,
2.
He is.
Anyway, you're right, go on. I'd say the best header of the ball and he was only a short period of time, was Christian Benteke.
Oh, really? Interesting.
You stand it up, it's a goal. I mean, we struggled, and he scored 17.
In a struggling team.
And about, and I don't know how many of them were headers.
Just brute force.
There's another one. Matt Jarvis reminded me when Matt came up, and he goes, well, we're at West Ham and Gaffer give us 3 crosses. I always remember it. He said, instead of just keep whipping it in, he said, you can whip it in if you get behind the defence, yeah. He said, oh, you got the cut back. He said, oh, the stand up. And like when you got Christian Benteke and you got a wide man going like this, I'm going, whoa, whoa, do you want something? I said, I don't want to do a John Beck on you. And they go, what's that? You get substituted. Because I was with John Beck for a while, which was horrible. But yeah, but if a winger didn't go down the line and cross it,
off, get off.
Substituted him to teach him a lesson, like I mean, But so I just devised the fact that, you know, if we're going to do crossing and finishing, let's have 3 crosses.
Yeah. A whipper,
in what position you're in, and what, you know, have a little look up. Well, Christian Benteke is going to get on the far post and go bump, bump. And it's amazing.
It's good. Yeah, really, really good. Sam, you've been incredible, mate.
Yeah, it was good to speak to you, lads.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, been a pleasure.
Can I ask you one more little,
There's always one more.
A finishing I do
one. Talk a lot, you know. That's why you haven't got
very, very good.
That's why you haven't got as many questions in as you would like. But yeah, go on.
Now that you've made your acting debut, let's say you're not in front of the camera. If there was a Big Sam movie,
I'll tell you this now as well, and nobody really knows this. I've been on CBBC and the Jermaine Johnson programme.
What is it?
It's football. Young lads football coming through the girls' football. So it's on CBBC. So there'll be a debut on there sooner rather than later.
Well, let's say it's a big screen. There's a movie, Hollywood movie, the Big Sam movie. Who would you want playing you in a movie?
Who would I want playing me in a movie?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Any famous Bolton movie stars from Bolton?
No, I don't think so. I don't know. Would you have? Who's handsome?
What's the
Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan, yeah.
Pierce Brosnan's nothing like Big Sam.
He just said who's handsome.
What's the England film where he... what's his name?
Mike Bassett?
Yeah, Mike Bassett. That's Sam Allardyce anyway.
He's not an actor.
No, we'll be playing 4-4-2.
Oh, brilliant. Sam, thank you so much,
Pleasure,
mate.
lads.
Really
thank you very much.
Up the Fozcast.
Cheers.
Well done.
Thank you.
Up the Fozcast. Thanks everybody for watching. We hope you enjoyed the latest episode of the Fozcast. Don't forget to give us a follow on Spotify. Up the Fozcast.